It's Mix 1041. It's Boston's Best Variety. It's Greg Daniels. We are backstage at the Blue Hills Bank Pavilion. Familiar face right here. James Bay in the house. Hey.
How you doing, man?
Great seeing you.
It's good. It's good to be here, despite the rain, despite the cold.
Yeah, you're closing this. It's October 1st, and you're closing this bad boy down tonight. This is the last show.
It's an honor to be a part of the one of these seasons, one of these runs, and to get to sort of close the whole thing out is cool. We've come up from New York. We were in Radio City last night.
I saw that on Instagram.
It's a lot of fun. Incredible room. So from one fantastic expansive stage to another.
Let's talk about the Radio City Music Hall thing. I saw the picture on Instagram, and that's heady stuff, man. You read about that place all your life, and there you are headlining there.
That's exactly it. Yeah.
You send that picture to your parents. You're like, Mom, Dad, look.
I did one better actually, and I don't get to say this much. I flew my parents to the show.
Oh, they were. Oh,
they came out from England, and it was amazing to sort of I caught them in the audience.
You did?
Yeah, and I said to everybody last night, in a good way, the best way to describe it, and I like a big stage, and I love a big audience, but it was given the sort of nature of the space and the shape of the room and everything, it's kind of like standing at the foot of a tidal wave just before it breaks.
Oh, really?
It's an kind of engulfing experience, but I do love that.
It wasn't overwhelming, right?
No, not at all, not at all. I love there's such personality to a New York crowd, but to an East Coast crowd really in general. So like. It was because we've been down in Florida, in terms of the sort of east of the states on this tour, and they were incredible as well. But Radio City Music Hall, I came to New York and signed a record deal with Republic in New York City 3 years ago. Did my first little headline show in New York 2 years ago, and so across those sort of 2 and 3 years, I've seen that. Radio City.
When you drove by, were you like, someday?
Yeah,
someday.
It's exactly.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
It's exactly. It's been that every time, and even as close to sort of 6 months ago, when me and the crew and everybody were coming through New York, we would look at that sign and say someday.
Awesome, you did
maybe
it.
Maybe in a year or two, and then last night.
You got it done. Congratulations on that. That's huge.
Thank you.
So last time I saw you, House of Blues, Boston, in November of 2015.
Yeah.
I was there. You killed it. I mean, it was an awesome show. I've been to a lot of shows at the House of Blues. I've never seen it more crowded and more crazy than that night. Yeah.
I remember you saying,
And it was just incredible. So
it was so much fun. It's one of my favorite venues, actually. It was definitely one of our favorite venues on that tour. It was right up there. Cause just fantastic space. But the crowd in Boston, I feel like almost there are only a few places on all of the US tours that I've done now that we've gone to every time. I think we've been to Boston almost every time. I think this is my 5th time playing in Boston.
We love you here, man.
It's so much fun.
We definitely love you.
Here, man.
So tonight, I don't mean to put undue pressure on you, but my wife and I, we have 2 little kids.
Okay.
We don't get out a lot.
Okay.
So, like once every 2 months, we get out for date night.
All right.
Tonight's our date night.
we
We
go.
chose you.
I'm going to make it as romantic as I can. I'll try and...
There's my wife right there, Denara.
I'll do my best. I will do my best.
All right, let's chat about your year, because it's been one hell of a year.
It's
Brit
been
Awards,
incredible.
Grammy Awards.
Yeah.
Last time we were chatting about it, last time I saw you was backstage at the Grammys. I remember talking to you, and I'm like, do you have something planned? I mean, if you win this, you're nominated for 3.
Right.
This is just crazy stuff. So can you kind of rank some highlights for us? I mean, there have been a ton of them.
Highlights. There was like a dress rehearsal at the Grammys. I needed to run to the bathroom. I came out. I still hadn't dried my hands, and I ran into Dave Grohl from Foo Fighters, who welcomingly shook my hand, my wet hand.
I just washed it. I swear. It's
yeah,
water.
exactly.
It's water.
And that was a genuine highlight. That was a highlight. And actually, it was wonderfully moving. But to stand there, to sit there at the Grammys and see Irving Azoff say his bit, and then for the Eagles, the remaining Eagles,
oh my God,
we lost Glenn Fry, to watch them come up with Jackson Brown and play to us was a huge moment as a music fan, to see that kind of thing. So those are some huge highlights just to the Grammys, and obviously getting to play, and that whole experience was a massive highlight this year.
With Tori Kelly.
With Tori Kelly, of
course.
That
was unbelievable, by the way.
Thank you. What a treat and an honor to get to do that. But
and then the
touring,
Brit Awards, you
exactly.
did the Brit.
The Brit Awards was an amazing night, even with things as last minute as being invited to get up and play with Justin Bieber.
I saw that,
as well as just winning and playing myself. But touring as even this year has been incredible. We did. I'd waited a long time to do kind of a proper European tour. We'd done so much in the States. We'd been out to Australia. We'd done a bit of Asia. We'd done a lot of UK, and we never got to go properly through Europe, and we did that in March, which is amazing, and finished that run coming back to London to do 4 nights at the Hammersmith Apollo, which is a fascinating and fantastic venue in London. So
it's blowing up for you, man.
It's been good. It's been a great year.
Man.
Yeah.
So a couple of questions about collaborations. You did it with Tori Kelly. You did it with Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
Is there like a dream collaboration you got in your mind where you're like, oh yeah,
there's always,
someday I'm coming after you. We're gonna do this.
That's a very good question. I think I have those kind of older heroes as well, from the likes of Bruce Springsteen, the likes of the people like the Rolling Stones, who it was amazing at Brixton Academy at the end of 2015. Ronnie Wood was local at one of the nights we were playing in London, and he came up and got on stage with us.
Did he?
But things like that, getting to meet Keith around a similar time, and people like that, such legends that have inspired me. It would be a dream to work with those kind of people. It would be a dream to work with people, acts of younger generations, like for example Kings of Leon. I'm a huge fan of those guys. And there's others. There's the list is a little bit endless, I think.
But you do have a list.
I do have a list.
Yeah, good.
We all have a list.
And you'll work your way down it, right?
I hope so. Maybe that'd be fun. Yeah.
So, Chaos in the Calm, one of my favorite albums.
Thank
really,
you
it was
so
my
much.
album of the year this
Thank
year.
you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and
saying nice things.
Yeah, Scars, Move Together, all
Thank
of it,
you.
man. I love all the tunes
Oh,
on it.
thank
It's
you.
just a great album.
Thank you.
But we need new music from James Bay, and what's going on in that department?
I've sort of rolled my sleeves up this far.
Okay.
And I've still got a bit of touring to do, but they're not down at the wrist. They've come up, some of the way, and I'm doing more than just thinking about it now. I've spent a lot of time. Early days when we got on the road and started touring a lot, I struggled with the kind of the exercise of being able to write at the same time. And eventually, though, I got to a point where I just had to try, because I was getting sort of itchy kind of musical fingers and itchy musical feet to try new stuff. And it's kind of full flow now. I'm really kind of I'm working away already, even though we haven't stopped yet. We're touring for a couple more weeks. We're going to do a few little things in December. But in that gap and from the beginning of 2017, I'll be writing and working, and because I don't want to leave it too long not touring.
Right.
But I got to have new music.
Yeah, you got to do it. Yeah.
So I've got to go and really work and write some stuff to bring out to the live show.
And the rumor I heard, we just did Mixfest a couple of weeks back, and OneRepublic was there.
Oh right.
Yeah, they played. Yeah, they were awesome, by the way.
Totally.
And Ryan Tedder. The rumor is that you're going to be writing with Ryan Tedder.
I've heard this rumor as well, which is exciting. We've not sort of properly met yet, but we're very much clearly very aware of each other. I'm definitely a fan of Ryan's.
Well, he says you're his favorite newcomer.
That's super cool, man.
Yeah.
In all respects, him as a writer, him as an artist and a performer, I'm a fan. So
he's a musical genius, that guy.
I'm by no means against it.
Yeah, okay, good.
To say the least.
Awesome. James Bay tonight, Blue Hills Bank Pavilion. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Kill it tonight.
Nice
Thank you for taking some time with us and hanging out. We appreciate that very much, and can't wait to see you. I know I can't really say too much here, but I know you're going to be in Boston again in the not too distant future. So we look forward to that as well. So awesome, James Bay.